we've got the father of the bride, Jose.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being with us the most important day of Mary and Liam. You see the beautiful flowers arrangement. This is all done by Sunita, Mary, Jamie, Mary, and Catherine. And we had a lot of help from our friends, Chitra, Preeta, Anu, and the beautiful arrangement, flower arrangements you saw in the church was done by Annie and Annie. To be precise, Annie Paulos and Annie Joseph. So most of the work was done by these people. They gave me a task to do, that was to prepare this speech. I'm not a good, I didn't want to prepare it. So what I thought was to speak about my daughter. Why should I prepare? I know her well. I remember the first day I saw Mary. I was waiting outside the labor room. A few scared people were walking up and down. Their wives were going to deliver, but I was relaxed, totally relaxed. And my mother-in-law came out with a small, cute baby wrapped up. She weighed a few pounds. Then fast forward another 17, 18 years. Mary got into medical school. She met Liam. And she told about Liam to Sunita, my wife, and my sons, James and John. 2 months, they hid it from me. They knew I was very conservative, more conservative than Boris and Margaret Thatcher put together. So one day, Mary came to me and tell about Liam. James, John, and Sunila was waiting outside on the ground floor, rather, the tents. So Mary, I call her Mary. Mary came and told me, Appa, you know, Appa means father. You know, I know you want me to marry a Kerala boy, preferably a doctor. I'm willing to marry anybody whom you find. But, you know, suppose he comes here and he does not adjust to the situation. He does not pass the exams. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do this. He's full of horror and terror. So finally, I told her, okay, you find somebody for yourself. Then she said, Papa, I found someone. So fast. In one way, it's good. I didn't have any intention of going around finding anybody. You know the situation in Kerala, hunting and bargaining and all sorts of things. Nothing of the sort. Why I said this is just to tell about Mary's character. She will get what she wants. She knows how to put it. And anyway, the most wonderful thing she did for me was to find me a very good son-in-law. Welcome here to our family. We have known David and Una for about 4 or 5 years. They've been with us during a sad time and happy times. So, I mean, it's like already one big family. And hope you enjoy the day. I can go on, but suddenly I remembered Jacqueline Kennedy. President Kennedy was about to give a speech. So Jacqueline wrote on a piece of paper a 4-letter word and gave it to the attendant to give it to the president. So the attendant looked at this 4-letter word and he was embarrassed. It was written Kiss. So Kennedy understood what it is. It means keep it short and sweet. So, I'm just following Kennedy. Thank you again for coming here.
And next, from Mary's brother, Jamie.
It's very hard to follow that speech, but thank you all for being here. It's been such a long time since we had such a big gathering, and yeah, I'm so happy the first time I'm at such a big gathering is at my sister's wedding, and Liam's, of course. Liam. I mean, I'm a married man, so I know it's just the woman who gets married. Man's just there, doing manly things. But yeah, so it's all lovely to see you all, guys. And yeah, so obviously I've known Mary for 25 years. That's correct? That's good maths?
Yeah.
So, being our older brother, I should introduce myself. My name is James. I'm Mary's older brother. And when we were growing up, Mary was my little lab rat. So, it's a privilege of being an older brother. So one time I remember when we were swimming, as a good brother, I wanted her to improve her swimming skills. And I've seen inflatables on their arms. That's how they learn to swim. So I thought, what if you put it on your legs? She never trusted me after that. But yeah, it's been a privilege to be Mary's brother. You know, she always looks out for me. Thank you. You know, it's such a privilege to have like such a caring, wonderful, lovely sister, and she's looking beautiful today. So, thank you, Mary. So, let's do Mary. I forgot my glass. I would also like to thank Liam. It's been such a wonderful journey to meet Liam over the past few years, get to know him. So, like my dad was saying, we've been through like some difficult times, and Liam, it was very important for Liam to be with us. He looked after my sister during these troubled times, and he was there for all of us. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. But an interesting tidbit about Liam and me is that Liam and me are born on the same day, even though we look really different. But because I was born in a more different time zone, I'm slightly older, so yeah. I'll take it, so I'm the older brother here. Very protective older brother. I own nunchucks as well.
It's fine, we're married now.
Yeah. You can have my nunchucks. But yeah, a glass, a toast to Mary and Liam. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
That was next we have the mother of the groom.
So we decided not to be conventional, because we're not conventional, are we, any of us really? So we wouldn't normally have the mother of the groom, but we thought we ought to get the voice of women here today. So. I'm not the only one, there is another one too. I know that I'm his mother, but you know, really, Liam really was a very, very gorgeous child. He was tied to Jo. There's only 17 months between them. full of ideas, constant surprises. By the age of 3, he was totally addicted to the Beano. And from then he went on to creating his own cartoons. And to be honest, we just all thought that he'd end up working in animation and writing cartoon books. But a casual question when Liam was 12 years old led to a casual answer, which was, I want to be a doctor. And the rest, as they say, is history, or actually, should I say, 10 years of very, very hard work. And there's quite a few medics in the audience today, aren't there, out there, so you probably understand that. It's really tough. And the first time I met Mary was in quite a trendy restaurant, cafe, quite a sort of boho place in Nottingham. And we were both probably a bit nervous, first time we met each other. But Mary made us feel completely at ease. And Granny, yes, because Granny was with us as well. Little wave, Mum. Granny and I and David came away very impressed, and we kept our fingers crossed, and it worked. So today, whilst I'm welcoming Mary formally into our family, actually she's been in it for years. It's the truth. There's a well-known saying, proverb, which is, a son is a son until he takes a wife, but a daughter is a daughter all of her life. Well, to be honest, I think that's a load of rubbish. And I want to really challenge that. And instead say that one of the joys that I had never thought about or expected was that when my children, and they're here today, have got their partners, actually what's happened is we've been welcomed into a whole new family. And that's particularly true with Jose and Sunita and James, that I feel so privileged to now be part of your family too. And I know that we will have many good times in the future together, and those connections are really important to me because they mean that we're part of a much richer extended family, and you're all part of that too. So I really feel very privileged about that. The last year has been a really difficult one for all of us, hasn't it? But it's been particularly difficult for Mary and Liam. They've shown such strength of character over that time and resilience. They moved to a new city last summer in the midst of COVID. They worked in COVID wards, in ICU, in A&E, all at the same time planning their wedding, trying to move house, trying to buy a house. I know that these things have actually helped them cope with some of those separations and some of that difficulty. But it wasn't the year that they'd envisaged of living in the heart of a bustling city. The centre of Bristol, which is where they've been living, has been really dead, and it's been, not the place that they thought that they would be living. But for me, and I think for David, we've loved having them close to us. And we wish them so much joy in their next move, in the next month, back to Nottingham. And finally, a little bit of advice from a long married. I won't say how many years, but it's a long time. Find time for each other. Grab those moments. No matter how busy you are, or how many pressures that you've got, happiness isn't something we can take for granted, and it's not a constant state. It comes in those odd moments that you don't always expect. You can't plan or design for them. You can't aspire to them. And carving out time generously for each other to talk, laugh, share your stories of the day, no matter what they are, is the biggest gift you can give each other. So cherish this, cherish your time, and cherish each other.
Hello everybody. This is honestly a day that I have been thinking about for a long time, and just to have all of you looking back at me, it's spectacular. It goes beyond my wildest expectations. I just want to thank you all for being here. I'm not going to talk about my brothers because they're all right. I'm just going to take a moment to thank my sisters. So my sister-in-law Marianne and my sisters Katie, Hattie, and Olivia, who I know not all of you were able to make it to the ceremony, but you have all stood by me, and we've been there for each other, and I can't thank you enough, and you all know how much you mean to me, and everybody else here as well. But yeah, you know how much you mean to me. I'm now actually just going to talk a little bit about Liam and the moment I realised I wanted to marry Liam. I'm going to go back to my third date with Liam, and this is not when I decided I'm going to marry him, don't worry. So I had told Liam on our third date that one of my favourite things about my birthday is actually getting a handmade card from my family, from my mum, my mama and papa, my grandparents, and my auntie Elema, who they're not able to be here today. But that's my favourite thing about my birthday is handmade cards. And 2 weeks later, it was my birthday. So we'd known each other for a few weeks at this point. And lo and behold, he had actually made me a handmade card, which is really sweet, with Kung Fu Panda on the front. And this goes back to the cartoonist, ambitions and the drawings that he's been doing since the age of 3, it turns out. I'm not sure I still get the joke about Kung Fu Panda, but it was lovely. And again, that was not the moment I decided that I wanted to marry Liam, but it comes again at another event. I think our first Valentine's Day. Liam drew me another handmade card, and this time he had actually written a message in Malayalam, which is a language that I speak. So he had actually gone onto Google Translate and written out the Malayalam words on this card. It was at this moment that I decided to tell him I can't actually read Malayalam. So I still don't know what this card says. So if anybody in the crowd wants to read this card out for me, just come and see us after the speeches. Thanks. No idea. So yes, that was a really lovely moment. I'm just going to talk about family, and I think we've all spoken a little bit about family here today. I left India when I was 7 years old, and I have such a big family in India. Leaving them was such a difficult thing for me to do and to come to terms with. And having a loud, crazy Indian family, that's my dream. And I've come on this journey, and all I wanted was to have a big family. And that dream sort of started to come true when Jamie met Marianne, and Marianne and Catherine joined our family, and it's even truer today. I've joined a lovely, loud, crazy family of the Dwecks and the Goldsworthys. A big cheer for the Dwecks and the Goldsworthys. You've all welcomed me, and I do feel part of a much bigger family now. And a special thanks to Mum and Dad, who have allowed me to call them Mum and Dad from about 2 years ago, I think. And Rachel and Joe and Milo, I do feel like your sister, and I do feel part of the family. So thank you. It means a lot to me. I have my crazy family. So now I just want to talk about my husband. I really like saying that. So for those of you who don't know Liam, he is a really kind, genuine and compassionate man, and the best man I've ever met. Sorry, Jamie and Appa and Georgia. I'm really honoured and lucky that you've chosen me to be your wife. I'm really honoured. You are an amazing son to my parents. You're an amazing brother to my brothers. An amazing uncle to our niece. And you are my soulmate and my best friend. And I couldn't have wished for anything more in life. So I love you, and a toast to Liam.
How am I supposed to follow that?
To Liam, everybody.
That was very nice and very difficult to follow. Because the next bit is the best man speech. Woo! Milo, come up here. So, those who don't know, me and Milo are respectively older and younger brother.
Yes.
I am Liam's older brother. That does often get confused with people. Which one of you is older? It's very annoying. You ready?
I'm ready.
We're gonna do some little bits. We've got some stuff to say. Okay, let's throw it around here. So, you might know him as Liam, but he has had quite a few nicknames over the years. Some like fairly innocent ones: Lum, Lili. For some reason, Lapis Lazuli, people would call him. And I think Miffy is to blame for Lesliam. Is that one of yours? No? Yeah.
It's Netflix.
Oh, it's his Netflix name, yeah. I didn't choose it. Sometimes people call him Dweck, which is very confusing. But one thing I want to talk about, and one nickname that we will remember, was for a brief period when he was 5 years old, I think he was about 5, he went by the name of Karakanon. Yeah, Karakanon, what an unusual name, you're thinking. Yes, Liam thought that he told us anyway, that he was an alien called Karakanon. And we're not really sure where it started, but we think it started when we went to the south of France on holiday, and he got this tiny little alien keyring, which he was obsessed with, this tiny, tiny little thing. And after that, he was obsessed with aliens. He was called Karakanon, and because he was the baby at the time, this is before Milo was born, even I was only 6, I wasn't that much older, but I knew to be like, okay, Liam, sure. And Mum and Dad did the same. They were like, sure, you're an alien, whatever you want. It then led to Liam coming to us crying because he wasn't an alien. He wasn't actually an alien, he was a person. He was just lying to us because he thought it was funny. And I think this was like the first time that we realised that Liam had a very vivid imagination and was very funny, and had quite a dry wit about him. And as it's been mentioned by a few other people here, he really loved drawing, he loved making jokes and cartoons, he was very creative in that sense. And actually, Mum used to bring home reams and reams of what we would call scrap paper, which was actually just old printouts and photocopies from her work. And we would draw on the other side, which in hindsight is very good for the environment, but not very GDPR compliant, is it, Mum? A lot of secret stuff on that stuff. So we always thought, like Mum said, that he was going to grow up and be a comic book artist or a cartoonist. And you can imagine all of our disappointment when he said he wanted to be a doctor. I know. Awful. I know. Definitely not. Of course, Liam was always going to be a doctor. He's very clever. Very, very clever. And out of the 4 of us siblings, we're all very into maths, generally. But Liam had to take it a step further. So he got some amazing score in some junior maths challenge. They invited him to do some Bristol, like best in Bristol thing. And he won. And he was a year younger than everybody else, which led to another nickname, which was Best in Bristol, which weirdly became this kind of insult. Like anytime he said anything clever, we'd be like, oh right, Best in Bristol. And Liam later recounted to me that he actually didn't really like maths, he was just good at it. Which I think is the opposite to his relationship to dancing. I'm joking, he's a very good dancer, we'll see you later. Milo, you have some words, I believe?
Okay. So I worked out that if I ever got put on a desert island and all I could choose was one luxury item, I'd take Liam with me. I'll tell you why. Liam has an extraordinary memory. He can memorise pretty much anything, but specifically any TV show, comedy, released in the last 20 years. Any of them he can do. If you mention any TV show that's come out in the last 20 years, Liam will start reenacting the entire scene with voices, and you won't be able to stop him until he's done. You just won't be able to stop him. On top of TV, he also has a fantastic general knowledge. He seems to know everything, and he's always spouting out random facts that you hear here and there. So I think that would keep me entertained. And I guess on top of that, he's quite nice. So hang out with him. But yeah, he has a fantastic general knowledge, and he always used to say he got it all from watching QI. I don't know if anyone's watched that, but with Stephen Fry. I think this general knowledge that he got kind of led him into his career in game shows. Yeah. So I'm sure a lot of people here have seen. So Liam, if anyone doesn't know, Liam is a Z-list celebrity. He's been on Total Wipeout, and also on Countdown. He underwent rigorous training for both of these things, specifically Total Wipeout. For Total Wipeout, he completely changed his lifestyle, and he went from, instead of walking everywhere around Bristol, he changed his transport method to sprinting. So you would often see Liam sprinting down Gloucester Road on Oval High Street in his jeans, and even if he was wearing his work clothes, that wouldn't bother him. He's sprinting. Yeah, you can't stop him. So, that's another great thing about Liam. Liam's also, he's super relaxed. He's a super relaxed, easygoing person. He's really good at dealing with things and problem solving, and he's always good at coming up with ingenious ways to get over things that come his way. One example of this is when Liam went on a 10-day holiday to Israel. You know what's coming. Okay. So, Liam on his first day lost his glasses, and Liam is quite blind. You can't see much without his glasses. So he used his ingenuity and problem-solving skills to come up with a quick solution, and that was to use his prescription swimming goggles and wear them for the following 9 days of holiday in 35-degree heat. Apparently, Liam was actually able to make loads of friends, and people did in fact speak to him, which I think is crazy, and I think it says a lot about his character if people were willing to speak to him. Otherwise, this is normally the bit where siblings will go, oh, we used to fight, and now we get on, and we used to argue. But I actually don't think I've ever really had an argument with Liam. He's so easygoing, he's so nice. We've never argued or fought, and if there ever was a time, it's probably because I was a really annoying little brother. But yeah, no, Liam, he's thoughtful, he's patient, he's so kind, he puts everyone else's needs in front of his own, and he's always staying positive the whole time. Not to mention all his quick-witted jokes that just go past me most of the time. But yeah, he's always been there to support, and he's helped me many a time, and I think he's done a great job of being a big brother. And I think that'll make him a fantastic husband as well for Mary, without a doubt. So I'll hand over to you, Jay.
And yeah, on the subject of Mary, Mary, you are amazing. And you look amazing today, and your dress is fabulous, but we love you a lot. And from the second that we met you and we saw you two together, it was very clear that you guys were meant to be together. We'd never seen Liam so relaxed, so comfortable, and so himself, and we'd never seen anyone laugh at his jokes. Incredible. They're gonna get married one day. It's gonna happen. Yeah, we're just so happy that he met you and that you're part of our family, and we're honoured to call you our sister. So I'd like to raise a toast I was trying to work out what to do a toast for, and everyone's kind of like done lots of stuff already, so a toast a toast to being able to all be together finally to celebrate this marriage. Cheers!
Wasn't the first hit.
Yeah, it wasn't the first ever, this makes a better story, but... So actually, finally, our last speech of the evening, or afternoon, the afternoon, is the groom himself, Liam!
Drop me to wipe it. Very small pocket. So, the speeches, they're very good speeches, thanks for them. They went on a bit longer than I would have liked. I mean, I probably don't have time. I mean, I'm going to need to cut some of this out. I don't have any time to say any of that. That's just an absolute... I'm stopping my speech on I had to cut that out the night before. I probably should have actually written down my speech to have it.
You're on a radio, son, you're doing it.
We're in the work together, that's good. When I first met Mary, I fancied her. And then I met her again, because you call it a date, and I fancied her a bit more. And we kept on meeting each other, I kept fancying her, and then we got married. And that's the short version of the story. I'm married to her now. It's very weird, but it's good. I like it. So far, it's very good. I mean, people say, you know, a marriage, it takes, you know, you've got to put a lot of perseverance, and commitment, communication, hard work. But for me, it's been fine. It's been easy. All I've had to do is eat a nice meal and I've had some sparkling wine. I've not had any problem. It's been easy. If you get a chance, try it. It's really easy. I can't see any downsides. I wanted to thank a lot of people because there's a lot of people to thank, and a lot of people have put so much into making today so special. And I'm so incredibly grateful. I wanted to just start by thanking Amma and Apar. There's 100 things I could thank them for, but first of all, it seems I want to thank them for this amazing wedding. They've done so much and paid for a lot. They've done so much, organising so much of everything to make this amazing day happen. So much hard work, including every single flower arrangement. Lots of hard work and love went into them. They also made Mary. I imagine a lot of love and some hard work. That as well. No, so I don't want to say that. Amma and Appa, they're amazing, and I've always felt so welcomed by them. I've always felt so close to them from day one. Absolutely unconditional love and support and welcoming, and I couldn't believe how early I felt like part of your family, and just that you were. I'm amazed and so grateful that from the beginning you were giving me that unconditional love and support. I will say, Mary did tell me that the first time that she brought me home, one of the first things that Amma said to Mary was, "It's got quite short arms, doesn't it?" But apart from that, 100% perfect. Everything. arms and short legs. I want to thank Jamie and Marianne for being so incredibly supportive, and also Deep Auntie and Wilson Uncle for, again, just being great friends apart from anything else, and being a great source of de-stressing over the last year, which has been a stressful year, but they've all been amazing. I want to thank Liz as well for her amazing choreography, and I want to congratulate baby Katru for not getting anything on her wedding dress yet, on her flower girl dress. Good, yeah. But thank you all, it's been great being able to share the time with you, that we've shared with you. Thank you. I want to thank my mum and dad for, I guess everything. Yeah.
For making you.
For me, I want to thank you for me. And you've always been there for me. I couldn't ask for better parents. You're amazing parents. So there, I've never said it before. You're not supposed to, but I embarrassingly find myself becoming more like my parents every year. It's becoming less and less important to me if my jokes are funny. I have less and less jokes every year. And I used to laugh at Mum for checking the weather religiously. In the run-up to this, I think I don't trust just one weather. I need to check two and cross-reference them to see how reliable they are now. So I'm slowly becoming. Made it sunny, so I can't complain. I want to thank my two brothers and best men. I don't want to spend too long talking about them because duets love to be centres of attention, and they've had enough already, so that's it. And I want to thank my other groomsmen, Mark, Matt, and it doesn't matter, we call him Matt, Matthew, and Joe Carter. They've all been great friends to me over the years, and they've part with me, and that probably says it all. I'd like to thank the staff here at Les Arts. You've all really helped to make today great. I'm having a good time, I don't know about anyone else. I want to thank Father Michael as well for, again, helping from start to finish, to help me and Mary and get us married, which is nice. I'd like to thank everyone here. It's cheating, but I'd like to thank everyone here because you've all travelled pretty far to get here, probably, and we really appreciate being able to see all of you together. They say that a true friend is someone who will travel to Hull and back for you. We have to practice. I wanted to raise a glass and also say a toast, I suppose, to people who couldn't be here today. I wanted to start by talking about people who, for whatever reason, just couldn't get here, like my heavily pregnant sister Rachel and my soon-to-be brother-in-law Brendan, who really wish they could be here but just couldn't get here, unfortunately. Also my grandmother, who again is just unfortunately not able to travel, and also other relatives from abroad who again can't travel here. I also wanted to talk about how sometimes the best days can be difficult because we think about the people who aren't with us, people who have passed away, and we wish we could share this time with them. And it's hard not to imagine what it would be like if they were here, and it's hard not to think about how today could be even brighter if we could share them with them. It's always difficult, and there's not much more I can say about it, but we miss you and we love you. We miss John Joe, we miss my mama. We also miss Sylvia and Sally and my granddad Dennis and my grandpa Morris, and we think about you all the time. Thank you. I want to thank Mary as well, because she's pretty amazing. Yeah. Pretty amazing, pretty good. She's my best friend. She's my soulmate. I love her. Yeah. I'm really excited about spending the rest of my life with her. She makes me happy every day, and I know she'll keep making me happy until I'm old with creaky joints and bad skin and all kinds of other horrible medical things that she'll have to deal with. Marrying you feels like a very good decision for me. I'm really happy that I've married you, and so your decision to marry me is questionable. Probably a warning sign for something, but I love you, and yes, I'd like to thank you for marrying me. That was nice of you. And finally, I'd like to thank myself, because I also like attention, and I could have made this speech twice as long, but I'm exercising restraint and I'm finishing the speech. So, thank you.
Please get one final round of applause, everybody, for the speech today. And I believe that dessert will be coming shortly, so get seated, chat, have a drink, and relax.